One of the turning points in my life, one of the eureka moments, was when I found that the whole quality of your life is determined by how you feel about yourself on the inside. It's the emotional quality of your life that determines how happy you are, and psychologists call this your level of self-esteem or self-value. And the more you like yourself, the higher is your self-esteem. And I was astonished at that. And not only that, it's the more you like yourself as a parent, the more you like yourself as a salesperson, the more you like yourself in your job, the more you like yourself in your relationships, because the more you like yourself, the more you like other people. And what psychologists have also found, which astonished me, and it still astonishes me, I just came back from Europe, and I was talking to people about this, and they've been using my ideas in their languages, Polish, Romanian, Czech, German, for years and years and years, and they still say the same words. I like myself. 95% of your emotions are determined by how you talk to yourself. So when you say, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself, your self-esteem goes up, your ability to do your job goes up, your relationships improve, and you kind of smile inside. So the advice that I give is when you get up in the morning, first thing you say is, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself. Before every meeting or event of importance, you say, well, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself. And if you have a disappointment of some kind, just say, cancel it out by saying, I like myself. And the more you repeat this affirmation, the more it becomes true for you, and it affects your whole personality and the whole quality of your life.
Affirmations are the words you say to yourself, others say to you, that you think about, act upon, and then it acts upon you, whether they are good or whether they're bad. One of the stories we have in Chicken Soup for the Soul that is so wonderful is the doctor said I'd never walk again. My mother said I would. I believed and affirmed with my mother, Wilma Rudolph, winner of more gold medals for running than any other woman in the world. Affirmations can take you up. Affirmations can take you down. The Bible says your words have the power to curse, put you down, or bless, bring you up. I'm asking you to be a blessing, to give away the blessing, to encourage yourself with affirmation, positive affirmation, simple ones that I wake up every day with is I am healthy. Why not tell yourself you're healthy? And see that every cell in your body's got a little smiling face in it. Your whole spirit's got a smiling face in it. I am healthy. I am happy. If you don't tell yourself you're going to be happy, the world's going to go out of its way to tell you you're not healthy or not happy. If you watch commercials, it's going to sell you on getting sick and not being, it says, is this going wrong in your life? And it'll tell you to need preparation aids for your hemorrhoids or something. Don't get programmed wrong. You want to be healthy, you want to be happy, you want to be rich, you want to be abundant, you want to be prosperous, you want to be successful, you want to be fulfilled, you want to create a legacy that's worthy of you, you want to have absolute abundance at every level. Let me just take you through some of the abundance I've got. I've affirmed that I am abundant. It's your spiritual right. John 10:10 said, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. The oldest spiritual literature, the Upanishads, the first line, out of abundance. He or she took abundance, and still abundance remains. There's fundamental abundance in the world, but most of us have been affirmed to take a vow of poverty because some religions even teach you're supposed to take a vow of poverty. There's no poverty in the world. There's only poverty in consciousness. When you eradicate the poverty out of consciousness, you eradicate the poverty. I'm here to end poverty. And we're doing even the anti-poverty dance where we say you got to give 10, save 10, and invest 10, Ocho Rico. And we think it's going to be more famous than the Macarena. What am I saying to you? Affirmations slam dunk work. If you add music to affirmations, yeah, they work better. If you add affirmation to visualization in your mind's eye before you wake up in the morning, before you go to sleep at night, works even better. It's up to you. Affirm yourself in a positive and correct way and go out and do new wonders.
Well, the simple part that most people don't understand is that every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our future. It's as though our thoughts go out into the universe and are accepted and brought back to us as experience. Now that is a very simple thing, but most people don't get it. They don't understand it. They've never heard it before and they think it's ridiculous. But if you can really accept the fact that every time you think a thought and every time you speak a word, You are literally painting your future, making your dinner, whatever you want to call it. You are creating. And you're creating your own life. And this is simple, but it's not easy to accept. But once you accept it, then you can start deliberately creating what you want in your life. And you begin to be aware of what you don't want in your life and how you are contributing to it. Now, I think this has been around forever, but for some reason in the last 20 years, the universe has wanted this to go out among all the people, or all the people that are ready for it. See, most of us just think, and we don't pay any attention to what we're thinking. We're just doing it. But that's something you need to train yourself to do, to begin to train yourself to be aware of what you're thinking. And one of the ways to do that is to periodically say to yourself, what am I thinking? Would I like this thought to create my life? Would I like to have the experience that this thought could bring to me? Now, it takes a while to do that, but even if we could begin on the smallest level to be aware of our thinking, we can start to make changes.
If someone as inept as I am can make it, really everyone can. I know after I gave a talk, this woman came up to me and asked a good question. She said, bottom line, Mark. She was an older woman, kind of intense. Bottom line, Mark, can anybody succeed? And I thought for a second, I said, yeah. And she said, well, then why don't more people succeed? Good question. And I thought for a second, I said, well, how many people dare to really even dream in the first place of success? And of those that do, how many really define their success and then make a plan on paper to get there? I did 4 simple things when I was 30, just 4 little steps. On that day, I wrote down my ideal scene on one sheet of paper, and this is exactly what I teach today still. Then I took another sheet of paper and just wrote goals, and I listed all my goals. Then I looked at them, doubts and fears overwhelming me, and then I took another sheet of paper and I wrote my goals as affirmations. To this day, I carry around in my pocket my goals as affirmations. I update them about every 6 months. And then the 4th thing I did for every major goal, over the next few weeks, plans started to emerge. As I was affirming these goals, plans would emerge. And so I would take 1 sheet of paper for each goal. I'd make a 1-page plan. I knew that was all that was necessary. I knew the important thing was getting my subconscious mind to get behind this idea. People keep asking, when I get into all these affirmations, how much should I affirm? How often do I affirm? Well, I'm totally lazy. Days go by, I don't affirm anything. But then if something comes up, if there's a stressful thing that happens, then I'll immediately affirm in an easy and relaxed manner, in a healthy and positive way. I'm now creating whatever it is in this particular situation. You just need to affirm enough so that your subconscious mind gets a hold of it and runs with it. That's the important thing. There's no magic number. If you get the right affirmation, it'll feel really good, and you just say it enough. And I'm convinced the process is your subconscious says yes to every thought. And so you can feel when that subconscious finally gets behind that affirmation. And I think that's the whole process. I think it's as simple as that. The universe says yes to every thought, whatever you choose to call it. You could call it subconscious mind, universe, whatever. It says yes to every thought. So I tell people, I firmly believe, and it's not something I took a leap of faith to believe in. I just have seen it work in my life. Therefore, I believe it. I believe that prayer works, affirmations work, positive thinking works, creative visualization works. All of this stuff works.
The question is, what's an exercise you do every day to help people break the paradigm? let's understand, first of all, a paradigm is a multitude of habits. And you don't just break paradigms, you break habits. And you don't break habits, you replace habits. If I'm trying to break a bad habit, what I perceive to be a bad habit, and I don't consciously and deliberately replace it with a good habit, I'm going to form another bad habit. Nature abhors a vacuum. And so it takes a fair amount of energy and it takes understanding to replace a bad habit with a good habit. So I think what you do is you sit and say, how do I recognize this bad habit? Well, you generally recognize it in your own behavior. And so you say, well, this behavior is giving me a result I don't want. Now, people psychoanalysts try and find the cause of that behavior. You may never find it. We know it's an idea in the subconscious mind. So we sit and write the behavior out. Write it out in crystal clear detail. And then we say, what would be the polar opposite to that? Take another sheet of paper and write out what behavior would be the polar opposite to the one you want to get rid of, and write it out. Take the negative one and burn it, literally burn it. Now that's merely symbolic. It's like lighting a candle in a cathedral. I mean, it's symbolic. So then you take the positive one and you keep writing it every day. Write it every day. Read it frequently. Write it 4 or 5 times a day. Read it frequently. And you will eventually lodge that idea, or as James Allen put it, you will deposit it in the treasury of your subconscious mind. And once it begins to take root, it takes the power away from the negative habit. The negative habit actually dies from a lack of nourishment, and the positive one takes over.
Let me share something with you. Every morning you get up and you look in the mirror, and you're going to get a choice of how optimistic you want to be that day, because the rest of the world is out there trying to tear you down. You waiting for somebody to tell you things are good? Not going to happen. Now you're looking at a man who spent 17 years studying clinical psychology, adjunct to the things that I did in running a business. And here's what I learned. Nobody out there for me. I found no one out there. So every day when I get up, every morning, no matter where I am, I say openly and loudly, this is going to be a great day. And I say it just like this. This is going to be a great day. Now you going to wait for somebody else to tell you that? You say to somebody else, how are things today? And they're going to give you a litany of all the things that went wrong. So optimism is purely a choice, and the mind does not know the difference between the real or the imagined. You imagine yourself happy, healthy, and the greatest job in the world. Another thing, we don't like what we look like in the mirror. So you get into that mirror in the morning, you don't like, oh, guys are no different than gals. You ladies, you go in there, you don't like the looks of your hair, your eyes, your teeth, so you get the eyeshadow and the thing and the lipstick and all that, yeah. And the guy is there sucking in his gut. Now we look at ourselves in the mirror and what we would like, what the hell, I'd like to have nice black hair like this guy. Look, that's a great looking head of hair. I hope it's all yours, but I'd like to have a great looking head of hair. You know why? Because when I was a young guy, that was the color of my, that's what the hell you got to look forward to. But I had that great looking hair. I had super hair, and now I look in the mirror and what do I see? I see a craggy face. I fought 53 amateur and 2 professional fights. I got a nose that looks like it wanders all over the place, even with plastic surgery. I always have to put it back in place. Now, when I look in that mirror in the morning, what am I going to do? Are you tall enough? Are you thin enough? Are you short enough? Are you white enough? Are you black enough? Does your hair look great enough? Nobody's going to tell you that. You got to tell yourself. So I invented a way to make myself optimistic every day. I look in that mirror every day, 22 times every morning. I say, I am a unique and precious being created by God for very special purposes. I am ever doing the best I can. I am ever growing in love and awareness. This day is mine, and no one can take it away from me. Now, you listen. You listen to yourself. You are the best mentor of yourself when it comes to optimism. Hey, and listen, I have to be realistic too. I take a look at that nose that wanders a little bit, and some days, if it's cold or whatnot, I've just been fooling around with it. It doesn't stay straight for a while. And I look at that craggy face, you know? And the last thing I say when I look in that mirror is, you are lovely. Now, this is good. Now, why do I do that? Because when I go out to see you, I want to see the beauty in you. Who is you, everybody I meet? And that's what you sell today. You see the beauty in everybody you meet. You know, the sucker that you walk in, you walk in, you're all head up, it's been a great day, huh? Until you meet one of them. And the one of them is the person, and we talked about this only briefly today, that'll pull you down, to tear you down. What do they say to you? Well, I don't like your company because the phones don't work. We don't have nothing to do with that. We got rid of it. It ain't us. And the other company has the book. You know, the other company's got the book. It looks like yours and it's less money. Oh, yeah, but they're Nazis. You know, they're bad people. They're crooks now trying to get rid of CERT. And then the third thing is they tell you that I don't like salespeople. And I told you today, so I don't either. My wife married one, and it's a very bad move.
Why is affirmation so important? Think about it. The moment you wake up in the morning, right? Even when I'm not out of bed, my mind is starting to work. Oh, I have to pick up the clothes from the cleaners. I got to go to the PTA meeting. Oh, I didn't get gas last night. Why didn't I get gas? My car needs gas. I don't have time to get gas. All of those negativity. And then you start telling yourself, Paulette, you're lazy. Why didn't you do that? So you start saying things that are not necessarily good for yourself. And in the morning, your brain is at the freshest time. Instead, you can say, I'm going to declare this is the greatest day. This is going to be, great things are going to happen today. And you start your day with a positive energy. There's a story about this little engine that thought he could. And he kept on telling himself, I think I can. I think I can. You know, my daughter, Grace, is amazing. When she sits in the car, she turns around and says, Mom, I can't put up the seatbelt. I said, Gracie, the little engine thought he could. And she says, Mommy, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And she buckles herself up, and she's so proud of herself. So when you tell yourself, I think I can, promotion, I think I can, losing weight, I think I can, somehow your subconscious mind says, you can. There's nothing that's blocking you. Another thing that I use is do it now, do it now. I got to do it now. So if you say it enough times in the morning, wake up, say it 50 times, whatever you're doing, that procrastination will be out of your daily performance. Because then your subconscious says, you usually do it now. It doesn't know it's an affirmation. You fed your mind. So for me, it's been very important. I say things like, I deserve the best and only the best is coming to me now. Because think about media, think about newspaper, think about the moment you're driving. So many negativity and so many statics are coming our way. And then we start thinking, life is tough. Wow, I don't know. Can I get to that destination? Can I do this? And you start beating yourself up, whereas we're created for greatness. There's no flaw within us when we were perfectly and wonderfully made. And we can go wherever we want to go. It's just that in our head, we need to get that clutter and fill it up with daily affirmations.
You know, that reminds me of a parable that Jesus taught. And he said if you could understand this one parable, you could understand every parable in the Bible. He said it's the story of the sower sowing good seed, which are words, ideas, imaginations, into soil. He says the ideas aren't wrong. See, the seed is perfect. The ideas, he says, but it's the heart. He says the condition of a person's heart. And he gives 4 different conditions of the soil, of the person's heart. One is hard, can't receive it, can't see it. Ideas are stats before they can produce. And I sense that a lot of people live this way.
You're absolutely right. Now let's go back to why people and how people think. Remember, it's 3 dimensions: words, pictures, and feeling. It's what you tell yourself and how you tell yourself, or the seeds you're planting. When you tell yourself misinformation, you grow up wondering why the world is all screwed up. When you tell yourself you're not worthwhile, you wonder why people don't respect you, why you can't get anything done, people don't listen to you. Poor me, and I feel the way I feel. Nothing seems to happen. See, so it's the quality and the quantity of conversation you carry on with your own self that is the most important thing. And there are 4 levels to that conversation. The lowest level of conversation is called negative resignation. It is tremendously inefficacious. It's like, you'll hear it like, I can't, no way, it's impossible. See, negative resignation, nothing will change. All you're doing is lowering your own image of yourself and nothing happens. And you affect your reality. See, if say there's no way, your subconscious can't let you see the way. Okay. The second is where you recognize you have a problem, but subconsciously you have no intention of changing it. I should lose weight. I could lose weight. I wish I could lose weight. I ought to lose weight. I'm just not gonna. I wish I could save money. I can't save money. I should save money. I have to save money. If only I could save money. See, I should change the way I treat people. I could change the way. See, you recognize you have a problem, but there is no intention at all of changing. That's the second level. Listen to the people around you. Look at your country. Listen to the way. What's the level of self-talk? Nothing we can do about it. No way. That's a resignation. Or people should. We should. I should. We ought to. Come on. The third level is a vow. It's like getting married. Remember, vows are pretty powerful. But you can make, if you're a smoker, you say to yourself, no more, I quit. Okay, that may stop you, really. No more, I'm through with that. It's over, I'm done, it's over. And you really mean it. It's like, that strong vow. You can change yourself. But because you're teleological, because you seek images and you think in pictures, and you got pictures in your mind of the way your life is and who you are. When you say, I quit, what's your problem?
It's not how you see yourself.
No replacement picture. Yeah. No replacement picture. So the fourth level is all about replacement pictures. The fourth level is to tell yourself what things will look like in the future as though they are. So you tell yourself, the next time I, the next time I, the next time I, the next time I. And that's true of the sacrament of penance. And the sacrament of penance is ask forgiveness of God, ask forgiveness perhaps of the people you've offended, and go and sin no more. Do it right the next time. Do it right the next time. So, but this is the way you coach people. See, some coaches coach backwards. They video or film their games or their contests, and they set their players down. They show them everything they did wrong, over and over until they get it down right. And they wonder why they keep repeating what they're repeating. Didn't you listen to me? Yes. Why I don't know. So the more I make myself feel guilty, the more I reiterate my failures, the more my likely of perpetuating it increases. So it's all about replacement pictures. If you're going to coach forward, you're going to live forward, you direct forward. So great coaches, they don't talk about what you did wrong. What they do is they correct forward. Correct. What to correct by? Give you a picture of what I do want. How do I want it? How do we choose to do it? See, and that's the way you got to keep yourself forward. And that's the way you want to live your life.
There it is again. It's you and I that have the power to change the way we create pictures, the way we create our future. We do it by what we say, by what we visualize, and by what we believe passionately. I hope you're catching this, and I hope you're making some decisions that'll change the way that you live.
From the moment you were born, every single message you got, everything that was said to you, everything you heard, everything you saw, everything you did, everything you thought about, every message you got was typed into your personal computer keyboard. That would be our five senses. And then those messages typed into your computer keyboard were recorded on your CD-ROM in your brain. So very much like a computer, every message that you got while you were growing up gets recorded and stored permanently in the brain. The reason that's important to know is that part of the brain that recorded all of those messages you got, that part of the brain didn't know the difference between, and doesn't know the difference between something that is true or false or right or wrong or positive or negative. Its job is simply to record all of those messages that we got from other people, and then we began to repeat those exact same kinds of messages to ourselves, and that's called self-talk. There's something called the law of repetition, and the law of repetition is the secret to the secret of self-talk, and here's how it works. Every time you get a message and it's recorded again, it gets stronger. And then you get the message again, and it gets stronger still. So that those minor pathways in our brain that are being created by us getting different messages from the people around us, when those messages get repeated by someone else, and then to ourselves with our own self-talk, those pathways become roadways, and then the roadways become highways, and some of those highways become interstate highways, and those are the major programs that govern our lives. So whatever programs you have right now, that's who you are, that's who you've become. It's not that you were born that way, you were born with unlimited potential, but we become the programs that we get most. We all got programmed. I got programs I remember one that I'll never forget that affected my entire life. It was my programs about weight. I used to weigh a great deal. And I tried every possible diet, and I said all of the wrong things to myself. And I thought this weight problem would never go away. I would try another diet. I actually got really good at dieting, but then the weight would always come back, and of course it would always bring its friends, and so I would fail at another diet. Well, at that time I was studying this thing called self-talk and how Eastern European athletes who were competing in the Olympics had full-time self-talk trainers who were literally giving them new messages about themselves and how they can win and what a winning, capable person they were. And I thought, if Olympic athletes can have full-time self-talk trainers to literally help them win gold medals, then what about the Olympics of weight loss, which was my problem? So I spent months writing brand new self-talk and then had it recorded professionally in a recording studio. And I will never forget the day that I first got those new programs home, those self-talk cassettes. They were on cassettes in those days. And the first day I listened to them, I decided to listen, play self-talk in the background. The sessions are only about 10 to 12 minutes in length. But I decided to play them while I was shaving each morning. And so that's what I did. Every morning I would shave and play the self-talk. Shave, play the self-talk. The next morning, shave and play the self-talk. And what happened was, during the next 10.5 weeks, I lost 38 pounds shaving and playing self-talk in the background. And this time, I wasn't on a diet. What was especially interesting to me was that during the same 10.5 weeks that I had been shaving every morning and losing the 38 pounds, during the same 10.5 weeks, my wife, who was putting on her makeup at the other end of the same mirror each morning, lost 25 pounds eavesdropping on my self-talk. That was a number of years ago. As a matter of fact, that was over 20 years ago. I've never been on a diet since. I never will be. And it was self-talk. I changed the problem. I changed the programs that had caused the problem in the first place.
Another thing they teach us at the Olympic Training Center is the importance of what you say to yourself. What you say to yourself with passion determines what you focus on. What you focus on determines what actions you'll take. And the actions you take over and over and over again will determine your habits. And your habits determine your results. Most people, when they're not getting the results they want, they try to do something different, but invariably they go back to the old habit and they're just stuck in a rut. Rather, whenever you're not getting the results you like, go back to your self-talk, to what you say to yourself. That way you reprogram your subconscious mind to turn you into the person that can hit those marks. So it goes all back to the reprogramming. So what you say to yourself is very important. And so a few years ago, gosh, many years ago, I made a list of some affirmations, and I would read them to myself before every race, actually before every practice. And I started getting better results. And so it worked for me, so I tried it before the races. And I got better results at the races. So finally I put them on a card, and I read this to myself every day. I have it taped to the mirror where I brush my teeth. And affirmations, it's called the Champion's Creed. And affirmations, they only work if you read them with passion. And passion sounds like you're mad. If you sound like you're mad, then that's passion, right? If you read them with no passion, they don't work. So this is the Champion's Creed. I am a champion. I believe in myself. I have the will to win. I surround myself with winners. I'm cool, positive, confident. I love the struggle and the competition. I focus all my energy on the job at hand. I am a champion and I will win. You read that every day before you start making your calls, and when somebody says no, it bounces off of you. It doesn't even hurt.
Now my whole house is great. I can do anything good. I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my mom. something good, better than anything.